Okay, I guess I am ready. So I would just wanted to say welcome and thank you for being here. I'm very excited to be part of this platform, this new online conference thing. And again, thanks for listening to what I've got to say. My name is Susie and I'm representing our amazing HomeGage sales and support team. I'm going to cover some tips on how to navigate our self-help site and other various channels for contacting support for help, and also a sneak peek at a new training program that we have that's specifically designed for new users. So without further ado, I am going to introduce my wonderful, amazing support team. So there are 14 of us in sales and support. And we're the people who answer the phone calls, we answer the texts, the chats, the emails, we create how-to articles, instructional videos, we modify your agreements, we go to conferences, we take care of your billing, we do a lot of things. And so I just wanted to give you a visual of everybody on the team. And then right front and center, we got Tracy. She is our support team manager. You might recognize her. She's been with HomeGage for a really long time. She attends a lot of conferences and she's on the phones and she's amazing, and everybody on the team is amazing. We are your phone a friend. You know, when you're in a bind and you're out in the field and you need some help with HomeGage, just give us a call. We are here to help you, and we love doing it. So a little bit about myself. I've been with HomeGage since 2015, and I travel around to all the conferences and things like that, and I do training classes at our 3-day training, so you might have met me. I answer the phones all the time as well, and emails and things like that. But recently we've been focusing on creating this new onboarding program for new users. I'll get into that a little bit more later, but first of all, I'm going to take you to the support center, and that is our main hub for self-help. And you can also contact support directly through the support center. It's a powerful tool. We have hundreds of self-help articles. We update it almost daily, actually. And every article might have a video that walks you through everything, or it might have step-by-step instructions with visual aid. We try to make it really, really easy. We even have articles for home buyers and for agents on there. So the best way to get to Support Center is to log in through your dashboard. And this is just an example of a HomeGage dashboard. If you don't know what I mean when I'm talking about a HomeGage dashboard, that is something every inspector gets, and it can be accessible from anywhere as long as you have the internet. So you don't need to have your software with you. You can access it on your phone, your tablet, or your computer. You just go to homegage.com and log in with your username and password, and you're on your dashboard. To get to the support center, the best way is the top right corner. You'll click on your name, and then you're going to click on Support Center. And it takes you to our site. This is the main homepage for Support Center. First of all, I'm going to point out just a couple avenues to communicate with us. So because you're logged in as yourself, we know who you are. And so we can track things and we can research your issues when you're logged in this way and communicating with us this way. One awesome feature that I think we added, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago was our chat. So down at the bottom right corner, there's a little orange circle for chat. Really cool too if you use chat on your mobile phone. So you can, I know a lot of home inspectors will bookmark the actual dashboard, and in that way it's really easy for them to just click on the support center and use the chat when they're having a problem. If you click on chat, it is customer live support. So we are a live chat between 9 and 5 Monday through Friday, and we've got awesome team members answering that. You can attach things, you can add photos. It's a great, great means of communication. And you're not funneled through questions. You actually, it's just like texting somebody. You get to somebody on chat right away. You don't have to be funneled through different auto questions and things like that. The other area to communicate with us is this Ask Us Anything link up here at the top. If you click on that, that's essentially like sending support, everybody in support, an email. So your answers, they basically get answered really efficiently because we all see it and we all jump on that and try to email or respond back as quickly as possible. Here, you just put in your subject line, description. You can add attachments. In order for us to help you better, adding as much detail as possible is the best method. So, you know, adding emails for a client or an agent that you're having a question about, a property address, a date, a screenshot of an error, those kind of things. And then that way we don't have to go as much back and forth. We can get the ticket, we know who you are, and we can look up your issue and just help you faster. This Ask Us Anything area is what I recommend for after hours. I think it's the most efficient. After hours, if you leave a voicemail, we're not as likely going to be able to answer that. Our phones are strictly cut off at that point. But the tickets, the emails that come through this channel, there is a chance that, you know, we might be able to see it. We do loosely monitor for, you know, emergencies and things like that over the weekend. So if you have a question or something comes to mind after hours while you're writing a report, shoot us one of these Ask Us Anything emails. And likely before the next business day, you'll probably get an answer or response. I know I myself usually go through these tickets first thing in the morning before we open and start taking calls at 9 o'clock. So after hours and on weekends, this is definitely your best way to communicate with support. So I'm going to go back one. I'm going to click on the HomeGage Support Center icon right there. And we're back at the main landing page for Support Center. I'm going to point out the screen right here where it says, how can we help you? Type your question in here. You can type in any kind of question in there and it's going to pull up articles related to that. And I'll point out as well, there's a filter option here too. So you can filter questions from the inspector perspective, the buyer perspective, or the agent perspective. So I'm going to give you an example of a support article. So I'm going to just type in, I want to learn about how to add an auto comment. So I just add auto comment, I hit enter, and it brings up a bunch of different articles. I see the one that I want, it's actually at the top. It matches most likely, and there's other articles down. If you keep cruising, you can just see what one kind of suits your needs. And then you click on the article, and here is a really good example of what you'll find. You'll find an article, most likely with a video attached. You'll see when it was last updated and who wrote the article. And as you can see here, there's screenshots, step-by-step instructions. And it's just, we try to make it really, really simple and easy to understand and follow. I'm going to go back again to the main landing page there. And I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about how this bottom section is broken up. Again, we've got an inspector tab here with different categories. We've got a home buyer, home seller section here as well, and a real estate pros section too. So we're adding more things to this daily. If there's something that you have a question about and you think would be great on here for your agent or your buyer or yourself, let us know and we'll create an article and put it on here as well. One thing to point out while I'm in the home buyer, home seller section, the other day I was on a call with a very seasoned HomeGage inspector, and you know, his buyer didn't know how to log in and couldn't figure out where their username and password was in the email or something very basic like that. And of course I let him know, and I said I could send him a screenshot, but I also brought him here and I said, hey, did you know that we also have help tools, articles for your home buyer and your agent? He had no idea. So when I brought him here, he was super excited. So I'm just going to point out a couple of things that he was really excited about. I'm thinking maybe there's somebody else out there that also will be like, wow, I had no idea. And this is a great tool. So for example, in the home buyer section, I'm going to do, how do I sign into HomeGage? it brings up a picture of what the email looks like and where the username and the password is located and the instructions on how to log in. Super basic, but you know, your customers, sometimes they have problems reading this kind of stuff and getting signed in. So an article like this, you could hyperlink to an email, just go up here and copy the URL and send it out to your client. They would click on it and would bring them here. So that's a really helpful thing. And then we even have more detailed kind of information, like how do I access my inspection report? This article is chock full of all the basics, from how to log in to how to sign your agreement to how to pay for your report, and create a request list and save as a PDF and forward a report. So there's a bunch of great information just in this one article. And it's a great thing to know for yourself as the inspector if you have questions on how your customer is experiencing things, and then you can also hyperlink that to them and they can help themselves. All right, so I'm going to go back one more to our main landing page there, and we're just going to focus on the inspector tab. That's where most of our articles are living, and this is broken out into 3 sections. On the promoted side, we've got information about live training, HomeGage webinars, conferences, things like that, extra care. The middle section, the FAQs, those are the most popular questions that get asked with Support Center. They just kind of naturally pop up to the top. And so basics, how do you contact HomeGage for support? And then other, you know, popular questions. So it's nice to just familiarize yourself with this and see what kind of questions are other inspectors asking. Maybe I need to know how to do that. And then over here on the left-hand side, this is the section that I'm most excited about, and I think probably gets the most use because people who are getting started really need extra help. And the Support Center is a great tool for them. So in the Getting Started section, we've got great articles from the very basics of how to download, install, and activate HomeGage, how to get your free trial, great visual cues, things like that. And then a really awesome article that was just published by Jordan. This one is Understanding the HomeGage Interface. It basically breaks down the whole, you know, whole software for you, color codes it, goes into all the different menus. So for a new person or even an existing user that's been using it for a long time, checking out these articles definitely can't hurt. And then the sneak peek of what we are working on in support, we are working on this new series called the HomeGage Handbook. And basically it's designed to take a brand new user through a series of lessons specifically designed in a specific order so that they learn the program the most efficiently with the best learning curve possible. And right now we have the first lesson actually published. It just got published yesterday, and we'll be publishing more as they are ready. But I'll take you to our first HomeGage Handbook lesson. So new users, when they first purchase HomeGage, will get emailed a lesson each week. And the thought behind it is if they were to call us and get a one-on-one session, a one-on-one tutoring of how to use HomeGage each week, and each week they learn a certain specific group of lessons. And so our first lesson is right here. I'll click on that. And we've got our HomeGage Handbook, how to set up your dashboard, an important place to start. So it's just the basics, setting up your profile, fees, services, agreements, and calendar. So you're ready to get going for the next lesson, which is learning the actual software and writing the report. Each article is meant in a specific sequence, but you can pop around and move around at your own pace. So we have a table of contents right here that will take you to each video, or you can just scroll down and they'll start playing right here in your screen, or you can open it up to a full screen in YouTube as well.
You'll notice an orange login button.
And there's Matt. He's awesome and he does our training videos and he's amazing. I'm going to scroll down through all these shorter segments in lesson 1. The lessons are broken into smaller, shorter videos so that you can digest it a little bit better and you don't have to commit to a full hour-long video. We had a lot of requests to create shorter videos, so that's what we have here. And then towards the bottom, there's further reading. So if we have existing support center articles that will reinforce what we went over in that lesson, we'll add them here. Some of these articles are going to go into a lot more detail, and yeah, and so they're worth checking out as well. And then at the bottom, we don't have any lessons after that, but we've got some in the works. So as they get posted, we'll lead on to lesson 2. Each lesson will have its own page here though. And by the time you're done through all the lessons, you'll have a really good handle and you'll be able to get out there and start inspecting. So that is basically just HomeGage Support Center, a little bit about us, what we're working on. Again, I thank you for listening to me, and I'm definitely here if we've got any time for any questions that you might have.
Hi, Susie. Thank you very much. The team have been answering a couple of questions whilst you've been talking through the chat function. One did just come in, though, from Bob. He said, can the calendar syncing be done with the Apple Calendar function?
Like an iPhone?
Good question. Bob, if you want to send a follow-up to that, we can get back to you later when we've got some more clarification. Other than that, Susie, you got some very nice compliments on chat. People saying it's lovely to see you again. Thank you very much for walking us through support. And we will prep for the next session.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Susie.
Bye-bye.